ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MemeWave 2025. This is season 9, or the session 9 actually, and today's topic happens to be meme for the change, meme driving global impact. I'm your moderator, Roy, and really excited to introduce you to today's panel, who's actually going to be talking not just about how meme markets are shaping up, but just more about the conversations that are happening globally. So we are lucky to have a panel that is purely like thriving on this entire bull run on how the energy is feeding. Probably I would just pass on the mic to them to kind of introduce themselves. We'll start with you, David. How about you can introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll know a little bit more about you and how your journey started with the Lofi The Yeti.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. And hello to everyone that's here. To give a little bit of background, my name is David Eisenhauer. I'm a docs dev, something you don't hear a lot in today's world, but it's been nothing but fun the last 3.5 weeks. And I actually have been in the marketing and branding space for about 10 years. I've been in crypto for 8 years, and I've been doing crypto specific marketing for 7 years. So after quite a bit of experience, I decided that it would be fun to launch a brand on chain. We chose Swee's platform because I think it has tremendous amount of potential with the technology, and the ecosystem is vibrant. There's a lot of builders, but there's also a little bit of a degen side, a fun side to it. So we chose Swee to build that brand, which is Lofi The Yeti, and Lofi is a character, an avatar that has has its own unique branding and IP, and I'll probably share a little bit more about that later. But that's just a quick intro for me, Roy.
All right, thank you so much for that introduction, and we'll move on to probably Benjis or
What's
Benji.
up? What's
Yeah.
up? Benjel's here. Another docs dev. Also calling from the Midwest here in the U.S. And yeah, have been building in the decentralized science space for a few years now. For various projects. One of them called Molecule, another called Bioprotocol. And a few months back, the Solana ecosystem was totally taking off. I'd been a Solana degen for a while, and was trying to convince the team to run an experiment in the Solana ecosystem. And so yeah, we decided we were going to launch kind of a different project from what we had been working on, and kind of see if we could develop a DeSci product for the masses. And so we launched Pump Science at Solana Breakpoint in September. And it's been kind of a wild ride since. And yeah, we're building off some of the hype that's been generated early on. But yeah, thanks for having us.
Amazing. How about you, Goku?
Oh yeah, hi, for sure. Hi guys, I'm Goku, representing Eva, a tiger. So a quite big difference from all of you. So right now I'm in Boston, so it's quite early. If I'm a little bit slow or blurry, that's my bit. I work in crypto for like 3 years, but in the space for 4 years. We decided to CTO the coin named Eva. At first, like it's just a regular meme coin on Pump Fund, and the community decided to take over it. And right now, I'm working it on the community side, trying to get the global awareness and learning more from all of you guys today.
Amazing. And I think I have some questions for you that really, really like matter to me because I've been really obsessed with that tiger.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I just want to give an opportunity to also Crypto June, who's just joined us, and so happy that you could actually confirm on your presence today. And would love to hear a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the introduction. So my name is Crypto June. I'm representing Biao as a host. We are not a docs team, but yeah, representing it here. Biao is one of the biggest memes already in Asia, not in the crypto space, but also outside the crypto space. And a little bit about myself. I'm doing YouTube and Twitter, and also representing sometimes as a host. And I'm part of the Biao community. I love the concept, and I would love to tell you more later on in this AMA about the project.
Got it. Got it. Sounds exciting. So I think before we begin, a lot of, our audience are probably hearing us for the first time. And, this is the world's first meme online conference as well. So we just want to make sure everybody has a little bit of context about who we are talking to and who we are in general and why we are passionate about this particular space. So I would like to ask each and every one of you, what really inspired you for this project? Like, what was the first thought? Like, what kind of, got you guys excited? And is there any particular problem that you were trying to solve for, or was it just like, for fun? Like, what exactly was the deciding factor? I mean, we can again start with David. If you could just probably tell us a little bit about like what really inspired you to, get into the world of Bitcoin.
What was the last part? What really inspired me to get into what?
Yes,
So,
Memecoin.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, to answer your first question, I think the reason I wanted to start this project was it was twofold. One is just because I love building brands, I love building communities, and I love kind of taking something from zero to its final destination, wherever that is, right? And I think it's hard to tell sometimes when you start off, but for this project, I had a really big, grand idea, and I wanted to kind of see what it would be like to work within a growing ecosystem, one that has, again, a lot of very sharp minds in it and a lot of passionate builders. And then on a platform where they're supportive of communities and supportive of that meme culture or culture projects. And so that kind of pushed me to the second reason, which was showing people like, hey, you can actually build a brand on chain, a global brand. You can scale it to hit all four corners of the earth worldwide. And you don't just have to be kind of confined to this digital realm, right? You don't have to just be confined to crypto Twitter. You can actually build something on chain and go from digital to physical and kind of take something that, used to just exist here and start to make an impact globally. And so the other reason I wanted to do this is because there's not often many, there are some, there's not many projects in crypto or people that in crypto that I feel like have taken their opportunities here and use them for good around the world. So giving back, right? And our project, Lofi The Yeti, we do have a charitable cause, and it's to take care of Earth's water resources, whether it's cleaning up ocean plastic, preserving freshwater ecosystems, or just providing potable water to underserved communities. And so that was something that I thought was important, was to show that, yeah, like you can build a cool brand, a fun brand, but also like you can leverage large communities in crypto to make an impact globally. And so yeah, we've done a great job of that so far, and I can share more about that later. But it's been a kind of a passion project, Roy.
Yeah. So I think why I asked you is like it was really unique to see like, you've used meme to spotlight environmental issues. And it's a project that kind of inspires that blend of value, humor, and it has got a blending of like, advocacy and engaging communities in more meaningful way. I think that's something talks about change as well. And it's quite interesting how meme kinds of also can be a vehicle for that. So I think that's the reason I wanted to know a little bit about it so that the audience knows more about what kind of drove you to kind of this cause. I'll move on to Goku probably. You are an evangelist for Ava, I get that, but you've been championing, community takeover model for a while. Like you've played a pivotal role using memes to unite efforts for wildlife conservation, creating a movement that combines humor and purpose. So like was that already innately in you, or what triggered this? Like why did you get into the space, and why was this kind of purpose so strongly innately inside you to kind of bring this about, like this particular change that you're doing with Ava the tiger?
Yeah, understood. So just a regular meme coins, right? Like the animal memes. We Thailand, our first successful meme coin would say is Mudeng, right? Right now it's like a global thing. Everyone is talking about that. And so once I spotted Ava is like, I mean, it's not that old. The coin is still like a month, less than a month. Um, luckily, we got like a group of community members that would like to CTO and support Ava the token, right? So I have joined the TG. I have been talking, involving in the communities, and I saw that we might have a potential on this. So I start sharing more and more. Eventually, getting into helping running the community side, connecting with partnerships. And the problem, the thing is that just not a regular meme coin is, that we like having like a thousand or even a millions in a day. We are trying to find like the unique point to sell Ava itself and to support like the animal welfare, right? So that's the starting point. So right now we are still shaping into the way to support other animals and trying to find like the roadmap or the sustainable model for that. So that's the thing we are trying to do now. So we are adapting according to the situation, but we are trying our best for that.
No, I think that's fascinating, and I'm really excited for this session because it really changes perspective of how to look at meme coins, and how certain meme coins does have a purpose which is larger than what you can imagine, but you can relate the two and come up with some projects like this. I'll move on to Benji, and I wanted to know more, honestly speaking, but my partner was just talking to me about some projects which I was not able to catch, but I realized something while reading up about you, that you've been really at it, in a different format altogether. Like, did you guys know that Pump Science funded a groundbreaking experiment on renewable energy? I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they have been enabling small labs to tackle the bigger questions by connecting scientists with crypto-driven support. And Benji is turning like these innovative ideas into real-world impact. Benji, if you could just probably share more insight and probably complete that thought that I was trying to share with the audience. Like, what is it that you're trying to create as an impact, and like a little bit about that,
Yeah,
probably.
absolutely. So, I think the genesis idea for Pump Science is it comes from the issue with most healthcare systems. So we're kind of rooted in like healthcare and science, that intersection, like biotech, which is that most of the world doesn't consider aging a disease, right? And so, including the US, most governments worldwide, you can't really get any sort of compound or chemicals approved for longevity purposes. You have to develop them for a disease. And although tackling disease is important, um, some interesting statistics are if you really want to help people live longer, then you actually should focus on making them healthier rather than trying to cure diseases once they get them. If you could cure every single cancer in the whole world, you would probably increase lifespan by like 2 years, which isn't that much. I think we all kind of want, our lifespans to live to be 2 years longer than what they're expected to be. But the problem is you can't get compounds approved for, just treating baseline aging. And so we think this is a huge problem. We want people to be able to take compounds that just improve their health, don't necessarily treat a disease, but basically maintain their health for longer, right? And so we think this is an important concept. We wanted to kind of meme this concept into existence. And so what better way than like, launching, meme coins. So I think that is like kind of the big genesis of it. Um, we think this point is super powerful, that if we want to develop these compounds for health, we have to do it ourselves. The government's not going to do it for us. Private industry isn't going to do it for us. It really has to come from individuals like everyone on this call. So this is the idea with Pump.Science. If we want to improve our health, we have to take matters into our own hands, and literally manifest them, and fund them, and be able to support scientists directly from individuals, rather than expect anyone else to take care of us. We kind of have to figure out how to take care of ourselves. So we think meme coins are a super nuclear mechanism to fund and get the word out about these different scientists that are working on this groundbreaking research. And so, yeah, we're just trying to tap into that.
That's phenomenal, and I think that's fascinating. And it's also reached out to the right kind of people who echo with this particular thought process. And I think some of us are really shy of actually voicing ourselves, but these sort of projects, these sort of initiatives kind of help us to kind of do things anonymously, which we don't really have to be vocal about, and also get to support the ecosystem in whatever journey that they're in. And the scientists actually get the support that they need. And yeah, I think that's a phenomenal way to look at things. And give more, to the meme coin landscape, like how this can be used as a nuclear, as you rightly put it. We have GD joined us finally, and I think we'll come to him right after we finish with Crypto June. I'm really sorry. If you could just probably highlight a little bit about your project that could actually connect to the real world impact, to kind of help audience to understand, like, what is it that, kind of connects you to the larger narrative out there, and how do you see yourself doing that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So nice to meet you all. English is not my first language, so sometimes I struggle to speak. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm talking with people around the world, so it's something very exciting to be here talking with you. So yeah, I'm working on Sui in a meme, which is a bluefish, and the goal I think with memes is two. The first is lowering the adoption curve on blockchains. I think this is very important because meme is easy to engage with. So it's more easy and I think the most important, memes don't lie to you. So we have in the past the utility tokens with a lot of promises. So memes is basically what you see is what you get. So I like that because we can be your I can be I'm a big fan of Pepe. So my idea was, let's create something like Pepe but in the water. So this is the whole idea. What I can do to bring more people to Sui and bring more people to the blockchain. So this is not on Sui. In another blockchains, all the blockchains know that reality. You need to set some brandings, to fund brandings, to engage, to make people interact with your blockchain. So it's what we are creating. Yeah, of course, we are making money with that. There's no problem with that. We are making money because we are creating we are creating more, uh, creating,
Value.
yeah, creating value. And yeah, it's what we are working every day, trying to create your brain, trying to create connections, network. So one proof is this call. And yeah, I'm very happy. I think there are a lot of challenges in this road, but we are trying to. I don't know if I answer your question, but yes.
No, you are actually, to an
I'm shy.
extent. What I've understood is also you do a lot to kind of engage communities in the right way, to kind of foster loyalty as well as engagement. And I think that's one of the things that you guys have been really at it. And that takes effort. And it takes, like, a lot of effort to make sure the community is together, they're able to enjoy themselves and also create content. And I think that Pulp has done so very well so far. And Sui itself has been kind of very popularized because of the meme token bulb. So I think there's definitely a lot of hard work out there, and then you so rightly put it, and we can understand very clearly the kind of passion that you already showcase. So I'll move on to Crypto June. If you could probably also share a little bit about the whole purpose of what exactly you're trying to initiate. I see a lot of excitement in our chat group. If you can see, like, the comments, Benji's been called a legend. There are a lot of excitement happening for Ava the Tiger. We'll
Yeah.
get to you guys at the end of the session to ask. You can ask all your questions. So please, like, hold on and stay on for a while we kind of discuss, and we'll genuinely want to hear from you guys and take all your questions in. But love the comments on the section, and thank you for joining us as well. Crypto June, over to you.
Yes, thanks. So first, shout out to everybody in the comments who is here watching this stream, who is into meme coins and being a vegan. So shout out to you guys. So the question, what inspires us to create the project of Biao is we saw an opportunity with one of the biggest meme coins of Asia that is not used yet in a big way in the crypto space. And also one opportunity we saw is that Chill Guy is not about the project of the coin. Sorry, it is all about the meme. And bringing these two things together of Web 2 and Web 3 is something that we want to achieve with Biao, with making funny memes of Biao And of course, people need to recognize themselves into this meme. So I think, and we think that Biao is one of these things that we can solve this problem, not just a random cat where you don't feel connected with, but some memes that you feel connected with. And also, I think that we also saw this into the market cap. In only 2 weeks, we were able to reach a market cap of 60 million. So people really recognize them of the meme. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like a meme, then you have a lot of options also to find another meme. But I think this one is very recognizable for everybody, even for European or American, also outside Asia. Um, what was the other question you asked? Sorry, I missed that part.
No, it was just mostly about the purpose and whether it's been like it's larger than life a mission that you're on. Like, what's
Yeah,
the
so in
vision?
short, I actually that the main mission is bringing Web 2 memes also to Web 3 and connect these people. Because I still
Awesome.
think that the meme coin space is a little bit undervalued. A lot of people that love memes are in meme coins, but a lot of people don't are not in crypto. They are now entering the market in this new cycle because they see the potential for being part of a strong community and having fun together.
Yeah. No, I think that's very rightly put. I think meme coins in itself didn't really have much of respect in the ecosystem, but they were always only, about pump and dump. But I think now the whole narrative is shifting with you guys on stage right now, and there's so much more that's happening. I think that needs to be talked about more, and we need to feel that change as well for this will run. And I just want to like probably move on to another question, which is about I know, like, given the fact that there were perceptional issues with regards to meme coins in general, when you guys started off, what were those, challenges that you guys faced while implementing your project? Like, did you have any certain, roadblocks and how did you overcome them? So you can start with Benji probably and then move on to, David and then, yeah, everybody else.
For sure. I think, I mean, if you think about like we're basically in the middle of meme coin traders and scientists. I think you can imagine that those are two pretty different groups of people that you need to appeal to. So, to the meme coin traders, we were very confusing, right? People were hopping on our Telegram going, like, what is this? Right? Like you're giving drugs to little worms and live streaming that to the whole world to see when they die. Like the the tagline that other people came up with that just joined our Telegram was like worm battle royale. So I think people eventually, were able to figure out and communicate like what we were doing. But I think it was like general understanding from the meme coin trader side of things. And then from the scientists, the criticisms have been that we're not legit science. If you look at a lot of like the FUD on us on Twitter, a lot of it is that we're pseudoscience. And so I think, it's kind of funny. We're trying to appeal to both scientists and meme coin traders, and we're definitely getting, kind of like both positive and negative feedback from both sides. And I think we're combating it by just leveling up our game on both sides. So being more scientifically legit and also being more memey and upping our meme game. So yeah, I mean like there's a bunch of other things, but I would say like at a high level, that's like the real challenge is like we are, you know, we are both a science project and trying to play in the meme coin space, and we're trying to appeal to both audiences who could not be more different. Scientists are all about truth and knowledge, and meme coin traders are all about memes and what like social kind of like what's going to catch socially, trying to trade, trying to flip coins. Like they could not be like more misaligned cohorts, and we have to appeal to both of them. So I'd say that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, but I think they have a good sense of humor, right? Traders who are into memes. I think they want to live better and want to live smarter. So I think it kind of will get into that particular, vibe. Probably it just needs a little bit more of understanding. And then they'll know why coin traders are also, pumped up about science. So I think that's a beautiful combination that you've got out there. And I think we'll move on to David. What were your, initial challenges that you faced while you thought about a meme project, but you have purpose? So how did you put that two together, and what were those, challenges that you had to overcome?
Yeah, well, it wasn't as anything as crazy as trying to create a bridge between science and meme coins. That's quite the gap to fill there. So kudos to you, Benji. But we did have I guess a similar challenge when I look at it from the dimension of people that are just degenerates and looking at like crypto as like this gambling kind of casino, which is fine, right? But that like pure meme coin space and the people that are looking at projects like real legitimate projects that are being built on chain. It could have a utility project, it could be an infra or a real world asset company, right? So we kind of looked at it, and I think the challenge was like demonstrating that you can be both of those at once and kind of be in the middle. And just it's really the communication was the challenge. From our perspective, we wanted to communicate through our actions and not through our words. And there's been a lot of, I think, a lot of our actions that have signaled to community members as well as people in crypto that we are somewhere in between, right? We're not just this raw meme coin. We're not a raw utility company. We have a little bit of humor. We have a community. We have a culture, but we're trying to do things that actually do make a real world impact. So, like with the charity donation, being able to fund 6 private wells and 5 public toilet facilities in Nigeria communities is like, hey, like this, you don't really see meme coins doing this. On the same time, on our X account and on our socials, we're posting funny things that are memes, and we're building a community around things. So I think the challenge is just communicating that, hey, you can be somewhere in the middle. You don't have to be classified or categorized as what people say you are. And it's more important for you to focus on building your brand and showing your community through your actions that really what you represent. So I think that's kind of been our challenge. And we're relatively new. We're less than 4 weeks old. So that'll become more clear in the future months and years.
And more power to you for that. And I think, and this is just going to make the meme coin landscape more serious, but in a fun way. I don't know how the both can coexist, but it should and it will. And thanks to you guys, that's going to happen more often. So I think people are going to get smarter and have a better sense of humor, if that's what, if there's a thing like that. I don't know. So I think I'll move on to probably, Goku. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, there are two challenges from my side. The first one is to running the community, right? Since we are CTO project, we are solely starting from scratch, figuring out with the team like how are we going to do. Like we are trying to differentiate ourselves. Like so, like there are plenty of the animal meme coins popping up after Mudeng, right? 1,000, like hundreds a day. And everything becoming a meme, like a tiger, like a random cat on the streets. But I promise you guys, if you go take a look, maybe a hashtag or anything, AY is different. She's like golden tiger. She's very cute, and she's just a big cat. Like her way of playing with the caretakers and all, she's very cute. And actually, same with David, right? We are very young. We are less than a month, but we already have a very strong community. So we raise amount of money, and we already donated this money to Ava and the zoo itself. We are trying to show our transparency, the wallet and everything, to show that we are not trying to make money out of all of you guys, the community, but we are trying to prove that okay, we are doing something for the tiger itself and for the zoo and for the community. And I mean, right now, you guys might have a chance to heard of Thailand, right? Like as a country of tourism. So we are trying to push this as a soft power as well. Since like right now we already have Mudeng, and we are gonna build Ewa to be the second big on that. So that's the goal. And yeah, right now 3 4 weeks staying strong. Our community members is like starting to believe that okay, this is just not just a random tigers, but it's more like a culture thing. So yeah, it's a long journey for me and the team to keep building this. But yeah, that's my two main challenges for now.
I mean, that's really, really amazing that you could probably, look at the perspective of, solving so many problems with one project, and that too, which is a meme coin. And Ava the Tiger has been really loved and accepted by the community already. Like on a daily basis, I see like there's so much of love, and I can see the chat and the
Exactly.
comment section. It's just amazing to see the kind of love that you're getting. It feels amazing to be a part of something as well, which has this sort of a bigger purpose, and Also, I feel like this kind of gives the whole meme landscape more meaning. And it's just amazing to see the kind of projects that are out there this full run, and it's getting even more exciting. How about we move on to Bulb, and we know a little bit about, a little on the lines of what do you think are the challenges that you had to go through while you introduced yourself in the meme coin landscape. GD, are you able to hear me? You're on mute.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the Blub biggest challenge is capturing attention in a universe so saturated with memes. So yeah, there are a lot of noise around the crypto space, Twitter. So I think this is the biggest challenge. So in some way, we need to stand out. We are trying to create build things. Sometimes we need to wake up, slap yourselves in the face, see what you can make different, because there are a lot so noise around the market. We need to build something different. We need to think different. So this is the real challenge for us, because yeah, everyone has a huge meme with different things and with different ideas. So but so we need to check what these memes are doing in the market, and try to create some strategy to make this to stand out. And yeah, um but I think in the end, if you believe in your meme, no matter how deep they are, with resilience, with your community, you can stand out. So you don't need to create skyrocket innovations or make everything different. But if you have a great community, some way, no matter what, Blood, for example, if deep a lot, some guy in some time will say, look at that little fish. So the thing, we are immortal in other words. If you believe in your meme, you are immortal. So yeah, I think the biggest challenge is create some unique and create some to grab the attention. Yeah.
All right, understood. So I think we'll move on to crypto, June. I think we want to go to the other questions as well, but like want to understand like crypto, June, like what exactly are the challenges that you faced while you introduced your project to the world, and how are you kind of looking at it in terms of addressing it?
Yeah, sure. So for Biao was not the biggest challenge inside the company because we have already around 7 years of experience. It's more outside of the company. It's more about the market sentiment. I think everybody in this chat as a builder recognize that the Bitcoin dominance is now going higher and higher, and all the eyes are currently on Bitcoin. So we don't see this as a challenge. We see this more as an opportunity, because during these times that the eyes are on something else and you know it will shift back very soon, it gives us time to build for the community, make some nice connections also with nice partners. As an example, we are listed on the last weeks on several exchanges, and also we onboarded one of the biggest market makers, Wintermute, into the project. And so the biggest challenge for us is right now is more like the market, and the Bitcoin dominance is going higher. And after that, when we see that dropping, we will see one of the biggest altcoin seasons for us. So that is one of our biggest challenges right now.
Yeah, and I think that's like something that we all have to kind of support each other to overcome. And I think that's a very important point that you brought up. Having said that, I want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
like deeper into the projects now. And I'll start with you again, Benji. Pump science has been revolutionizing the way, the research space has not been like looked at very, it hasn't had that focused attention in a lot of countries, right? And but I just want to understand like how does pump science democratize scientific research, and are and what are the kind of benefits if you can reiterate, like, do specific scientists or users gain from the platform? So people who are not aware of it can get to know it from you.
Totally. So I think if you look at the way that science has been funded historically, um, individuals like us couldn't really participate. The funding system typically happens from grants from governments. So whoever the people that are in charge of making those grants get to make the decisions. That's not democratized. It's fairly centralized. Um, and so you have to start to question, like, what are their incentives? Do they want the best science, or do they potentially want to kind of boost the science that boosts their own reputation, right? So I think that's kind of like one important thing is, from the most of the scientific funding comes from governments, which we basically don't have a say in as individuals. Um, Another is like in biotech venture capital, right? In the same kind of way that many VCs in crypto controlled the how money flows into what projects. All of us were pretty much excluded from that. And only the select few VCs got to determine which projects got funded. And so
Absolutely.
I think like from a democratization perspective, the answer is clear. Like you've never been able to fund science with your crypto. Like that's something that we're trying to enable. And so what are the benefits that people get from, funding it? Well, we're live streaming all of the experiments, so like as soon as they get funded, we stream the data directly to users as soon
Mm.
as we get it. So I think that's kind of like an interesting piece is now you've basically turned science into like a spectator sport where it has never been. Science has always been the type of thing where, the information that they capture is kept in lab books, lab notebooks, and it's kept very tight within the lab until it's ready to make a whole story out of, and then you publish it.
Yeah.
And whether that's good or bad, it's up to people to decide, but we're creating a different path, which is you fund it, the research starts, and then the data comes out immediately, real time.
So that I just really wanted to understand. Can you give us one example or a recent experiment that you funded, and it can be cancer? Uh, you know, like, how was your platform leveraged, and what were the implications of that research? It just
Totally.
helps the
So
audience to kind of map the theory part of it with practice, so kind of
totally.
try to kind of
So
bridge the
the
gap.
yeah. So the tokens represent compounds. So our whole idea is each compound is a different token, right? And those compounds are tested with multiple experiments. So the idea is, you don't know if a compound is going to work or not. And when I say work, I mean, improve your health, right? So help you live longer and healthier, but not, hurt you and be toxic, right? Many chemicals are toxic. You shouldn't be taking them. Um, and but some can help you. And so we're trying to, in the same way that like there are some really good memes in a sea of rug pulls, it's the same kind of thing with chemicals where most chemicals are toxic, but there are a select few gems, right? And we're basically gem hunting for chemicals. So I think that this is something that a lot of like meme coin traders can understand. And we hope that they see the parallels with chemistry. And so so basically we have one token to one compound. And the idea is that so the first two compounds that we launched are urolithin A and rifampicin. And so that's Euro and Rif. And so those are basically the two tokens that got launched on our platform. The idea is as soon as like a certain market cap is reached, basically we fund that experiment. And so the protocol that we're building makes it so that all of the trading that happens of the tokens creates fees, which then fund the research. And so,
Amazing.
uh, so the first experiment that we launched with the funding was in worms. So basically, there are these tiny worms called C. elegans. They're nematodes. They're about the size of your eyelash, and we tested both of those drugs on those worms. And so we had, I think it was like 60 C. elegans were tested with one drug, 60 C. elegans were tested with a different drug, and then we gave some of them control. So just like neither drug. And we saw like do they extend life? These different compounds, and the answer is they do. So both the compounds we launched, one of them increased the lifespan of the worms by like 33%. Let me get the exact number, but I think it's like 33%. And I know we're not worms, but just imagine living like an extra 30 years. It's crazy.
Wow.
The
Wow, that's
idea.
crazy.
So it's not to say that that's definitely possible with these compounds. I don't want to say that, but we were able to make worms live 33% longer with rifampicin and 6% longer with urolithin A. So the idea is, does this translate to a slightly larger organism? So we moved from worms to flies. And so now you can go on pump.science and you can see a live stream of an experiment that's going on as we speak. The flies are in a lab, they're being given these two different drugs, and we're watching like what is their impact on lifespan. And so we're kind of asking the same question in a slightly larger organism. And then, if they work in the flies, the idea is we move to the next largest organism. And the next one we're going to do is mice. So in January, we're testing both compounds on mice. The problem is that mice live a long time. So are we going to wait 2-3 years for the compounds to like figure out if they extend lifespan or not? In 2-3 years in our world is a lifetime, right? That's an entire market cycle. So
Yeah.
we're probably not going to do lifespan testing on the mice. We're going to do endurance testing. So we're going to see, does it improve the speed at which they move, their strength, how long they can run, et cetera. So we're going to test a slightly different data point for the mice. And then the research will go from there. But that's kind of the idea. So you have like stepping stones. You go from smallest organism to largest, and you test to basically see, does it improve their health.
Mind is completely blown with the stuff that you just mentioned, and it's so exciting to see that there are like real world impact that you can see with these sort of experiments happening, and at the pace at which it's going, and it's also creating a community around it to kind of see and experience it at the same time. So I think that's pretty exciting to kind of be a part of. I think I'll move on to David. Lofi the Yeti is one of the most unique project in this space. So, what is the inspiration that you think has led for its narrative to kind of get this attention that you have right now? And what are you doing to kind of, engage or, kind of seed humor in the whole play of, what you're trying to achieve with Lo-Fi the 80? How are you balancing that out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, again, we're less than 4 weeks old and have kind of just burst onto the scene here. But I think that, as you said, the character it's one of a kind. It's very unique, and it has caught a lot of people's attention through the art, through the content, and through the humor, as well as how we are interacting with the community, and the community is interacting with everyone else. So that's number one. Very unique character. Hadn't really seen a Yeti come to life on the blockchain per se. And I think that it really is a situation where the brand is starting to evolve and people are starting to relate to the character. There's a reason we chose a Yeti. Well, there's many reasons we chose Yeti. One is he's a little bit water related. He's got a kind of water vibe to him, and Sui's chain and ecosystem seems to prefer water creatures just because of the history about Sui. And Sui actually means water in Japanese. So that was one reason, right? We wanted to be thoughtful in our approach. The second was the character it's kind of relatable to a human. There's a bit of anthropomorphization where you can easily relate to this character, whether he's doing something funny or he's experiencing emotion of, sadness or longing for something else. And truthfully, the story of Lofi is just one that I think is very relatable, right? He's defrosted after millennia. He comes back to life and he's like exploring this new world for a second time with all of his old memories and trying to navigate this kind of complex environment in the 21st century. And so for many of us, we do that every single day. There's phones, there's social media, there's everything's going 120 miles an hour, right? You're in this crazy attention economy. And with Lofi, we've kind of been able to show people to come back to maybe that like childlike spirit of just being grateful and practicing mindfulness in your day. And whether it's a little thing, just like a meme that helps you do that, or connecting with someone in the community, I think it really is just, again, we're scratching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to our brand and where we're going with it. And I'm excited to really tell the story about Lofi because I think that's going to create more connection with the audience. So yeah, it's relatively new, but so far so good. And I think a lot of people are finding it to be very relatable.
Absolutely. And I think it's proof of the pudding when you see the community already engaging with you with so much love, having like, just launched. It seems like it's already being welcomed, and this sort of thing is very important for us to also kind of navigate through this confusing yet very interesting meme coin landscape. I think with that, I would like to move on to Goku. I know that you mentioned a lot about, community driven approach is kind of helping you live with the larger purpose. What were your lessons that of using this approach? Like, did you first figure out like it has to be a meme coin for us to kind of engage with the community, for a message to kind of seed the messaging, like this is what we want to do and this is what we want to serve for? What were your biggest learnings so far? And are there any initiatives that you're driving particularly like focused on this? Like how did you like take about this approach, and what were your biggest learnings so far?
Yeah, for sure. Our biggest learning, I would say, is that since our coin is like very young, like David is less than a month, the CTO model has been doing great for us. But the big thing is that it gave the sense of ownership to all the community members. Even though you're not the token holders, but you come to vibe with us, you come to talk more with us, and you become like a fan club of AVA itself. I mean, right now, if you on like the Southeast Asian TikTok, right? Ava has been popping up lately, like the moments of she like meowing, playing with the waters and all. Those kind of moments like sparks and wins everybody hearts. And so those people that are already in crypto, they join the community, and also with the it like specialties like the color of it, like the Ava, right? It's not just a regular tigers. It's like a golden tigers and very cute. And but right now with all of the crypto stuff, community engagement, creativities, cultural reference is become like all of the supporting push for Ava to get the Ava token out there for those like animal lovers and especially like Ava lovers. Um, and yeah, I think and also lastly also since it's the CTO model, right? It seems like everything is like executing faster, both the ideas and everything, and it seems more organic. And we're focusing on like the grassroots growth for now. So yeah, I think that's our biggest learning.
I think that's fascinating to hear as well. And I think the community will learn more about this model and if it's a success to use for other initiatives to kind of for the endangered, animals that we have in the world. And I think this is a great case study for them to also kind of take notice of, right? I think I'll move on to Crypto June now. And if you could just also highlight a little bit about the learnings that you've had since the launch, and, are there any particular models that you're very bullish on? Like, what's your take on this?
Yeah, sure. What kind of models do you mean exactly? Sorry, can you maybe?
Your overall, the meme token in terms of how do you see like your strategy different from the others, and why do you think that would work? Or are there any challenges that you think that, kind of changed your idea of like how do you want to go about it? Like, what are the biggest learnings that you've had while you're, strategizing your branding and marketing activity for your meme coin?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So I think one of the most important things what we learned in the past and is that you need to focus on your community. In with meme coins, the community and the team are the most important things. Like you need to understand what do they expect from you as a developer or founder, and how you can give them the trust that they want. Because right now we see so many rug pulls. So one of the things that we learned was be active. You cannot post one tweet a day because it's way too less. You need to be active. You need to post those memes actively on Twitter to be more visible compared to the competition, and also to gain more connection with your community. Also, one thing that we learned was it's all about connections in the space. You can have the best product, but if you don't know anybody in this space, it will be very hard for yourself to differentiate yourself compared to your competitors. Because if you reach out to anybody in this space, they will think you are a spammer or something. So that is the reason your connections in this space are so important. I think everybody here receives so many DMs every day from random people, but mostly you only work with people that you personally know or got introduced by your friend in this space. So actually, those are the most important learning curves from us that we learned regarding this project.
All right, interesting. So I think that leads me to you, GD. What are the kind of initiatives you're using to kind of improve engagement? I think all of us could learn a little bit from you on the lines of, keeping it real, also playing, different content to kind of delivering like that kind of, energy every time. What are your secrets? Please tell us.
Yeah, we're trying to do what we love, so it's easy. Why we are having fun in this? Create community. It's probably the biggest part on that secret, because involve connections, human connections. So the secret is just create. I have my employers to make art. I have my employers to create some in the back end, make my servers. Blub has a lot of servers to measure how the other projects and how Sui is going on. And I think it is almost like that. We don't have a secret. We do every project does, but we like a lot about your meme. And in the end, I think this is the most important. There's no magic around that. Of course, you need to work a lot. You need to spend your hours in your day trying to. I have a more difficult to that because how my English is not so good. Sometimes I need to translate. This is very annoying, but I not choose Blub choose me. So I'm trying to improve myself to be part of this team, a part of this community, because it's a great community. So the secret is just create a great community, trying to create a good vibe around the project. We are project started bottom to top, so it's a little hard because there's some problems with that. In the end, the tokens are very cheap, so there's some yields. So we need to interact the chart sometimes to boost the chart. So we are trying to. We have a lot of this. My background is like I'm programmer, so was the idea to create Blub because let's try to create some different was my thinking. And yeah, we are trying to create a good parameters to be a huge project. But if we if this if we not achieve this goal, there's no problem because we will achieve. But of course, we are having a lot of fun in this process, so it's very very natural to us uh, keep it with the Blub. And yeah, make happen without any secret, just working and trying to create connections, real and organic connections.
I think you're a baller person, firstly, JD, because it takes guts to kind of come and say that I don't know English, but you've been doing so fine. I think I've probably stammered more than you. But I just feel like the passion at which that you chose to kind of take up this particular, panel discussion, despite feeling that you don't, have the command over the language, which is not true in my opinion. But like, I feel the way you're saying that the community chose me, the bulb chose me. That itself showcases the kind of, the philosophy that you guys are running with. And that kind of like is a huge proof of pudding that the kind of people working behind it are so passionately like working towards creating some really amazing moments. And I think that's very commendable, and that's what meme space is all about: being inclusive and being able to feel like borderless about being able to interact with people across the globe without feeling limited. So I think that's amazing to hear from you, and I think that echoes with a lot of the kind of conversations that we've been having over the meme wave 2025 panel discussions. And I think we are trying to also kind of showcase that value addition that meme landscape actually adds as a community to Web3 space. And it's acting as a vehicle or a glue or a catalyst or a nuclear power to kind of help the Web3 space to keep it engaging and interesting. I think with that, I would like to ask all of you, you know, what are the keys of driving sustainable meme coin project? Are there any hacks to kind of curate purpose with the kind of projects that you're like involved in? What are the kind of formats that you're using to drive this narrative, or drive a conversation which is also matching with sustainable meme coins, if I can say so myself? We can start with you again, Benji.
Yeah, I think number one is just making good content, right? Like if you can make good videos that are funny and you can make memes that are funny, then you have like the best chance at sustainability. Not saying that our content is good or funny, but we're certainly trying our best. Um,
Yeah.
I think also trying to differentiate yourself and play your own game, right? And I think Goku's doing a great job with this with the tiger. It's like there's tons of animals out there. How do you differentiate yourself and play your own game? Not trying to be all the other meme coins, but really lean into what differentiates you, I think is super important. That's another piece. And then I think number three for me, which is the biggest learning, is how to best engage the Chinese community. So this was something I was very naive to. Like I didn't realize how freaking active the Chinese community is in the meme coin market. And so, like if you go into our Telegram, by far the most active channel is the Chinese channel. And so trying to figure out how to engage them, going back to GD's point is like with the language barrier, I don't speak Chinese, and like we don't have anyone on our team that speaks Chinese. So, you know, basically empowering the mods to, support us there and, tell us, what that community is thinking. I think has been super important for us to cater to also. It's just like, that's where the firepower is. The Chinese meme coin traders are, you know, they're a huge source of energy that you can either learn from or, ignore. And we've chose to like learn from them and like lean into what they want. And so we've like changed our plans and roadmap based on their feelings. So yeah, I think it's another big important hack for anyone trying to build in the space.
Amazing. I think that's a very important point also, to kind of understand that you get to encounter a lot of different experiences just because you're a part of this kind of movement, and to see value additions that you're creating for these communities, and to receive that love back and that validation back is energy, and it's fuel to kind of continue and go on. So I think that's a great way to look at how sustainably you guys are trying to kind of fit those narratives in place that engages with the audience, and you accordingly kind of tweak your own understanding about the whole landscape. And the same question goes to probably David. If you could highlight a little bit about what is the way in which you can make this entire process more sustainable. What are you looking at? How are you looking at the space?
Yeah, oftentimes, I mean, for quite some times, probably the last 2 years working with memes as a marketer, and before starting Lofi, I would always tell them to focus on several things. And it's the same for Lofi. It's really what we're doing. It's our bread and butter. So the first one is content, which Benji said, right? Having good content. Content is king. That's how you attract the second one, which is community. So community is going to be the lifeblood, the power, the really the battery for your meme or your project in the long run, right? And I think it's one of the most important. And then the last one is collaboration. I think you have to be collaborative. I think you have to work with others, whether it's people that are helping to create more awareness for your brand or for your meme coin or your project. It could be other communities. It could be someone working at the blockchain or on a tech project, right? Collaboration is going to put your brand into the right spots. And then the fourth C, so we have content, we've got community, we got collaboration. The fourth one is consistency. You have to do all that consistently. If you don't do those things consistently, you're going to send some mixed messages. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what people like to see. They want to see active content, active community, active collaboration. And so those are the four C's. And I've already kind of covered the three A's, which are you want to build awareness with those. you want to build acceptance, or excuse me, you want to create accessibility. And then the last one is adoption, right? Getting people to buy into what your brand is or your project is, or the utility is. So that's those are our keys, right? That's the recipe for us. Outside of that, like, you got to be cool. Like, you got to have something that's funny. If you lose track of the main plot, you're not going to make it that far, in my opinion. So I would encourage everyone out there that's in memes or that's getting into memes is that, remember, keep it cool, keep it fun, build a great community, and at the end of the day, let that speak volumes.
That's really like well summarized. Hope that the others have some interesting more points to add. And how about you, Goku? Anything that you want to add to what David and
Yeah,
Benji mentioned?
definitely totally agree with both of you guys. But the thing is that we are relying on a live tiger. So the kind of content that we are going to publish is very hard, right? Since it's rely on her mood, some days we already have our community members like living around the area of the zoo. We went there for like a few days, but some days she's just not in a good mood, so she's just not showing up at all. So yeah, we will have to rely on that. And also like the unpredictability that like adds a layer of excitement. So right now we all community members, we have to understand that okay, we are relying on her. She is like a life creature, so we have to be patient and keep the work going on, like keep the hype going up, the community and all. And as a reminder, right, like any wildlife animal, she has her own personalities, which add like authenticity and also the charm to our projects. At the same time, once we are running the CTO model, engaging with community is very crucial. We are recently doing like the X rates, people trying to help us getting verified on certain platforms, right? I remember like on the first few days, we are trying to get ourselves verified on CoinGecko and Coin Market Cap, right? And this is solely by the power of the community. We get them to rate, we get them to comment and all, and the result come out very nicely. And lastly, our ultimate goal is to get Eva a global attention, show her cuteness, the unique personalities, and also to get people to fly here and even to film Eva and post it on their TikTok. I think that's the goal.
Oh, I have a very lame question, and excuse me for asking this. I mean, you just mentioned that she has her days, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
does she know that she's this famous and this loved, or that is it that she's an introvert? Just want to know more about her. I'm a pet parent myself, so most of the times I'm guessing what my dog really wants, and like. Eva's eyes are extremely expressive. So, have you figured something out about her personality? Like, just want to know a little bit.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm
absolutely.
dismissing things like about my pet as well. Like, do you guys guess that, or do you know that she's an introvert and she's tired of all the pictures and the cuteness that people want to, cash onto?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think like from what I've heard from the community, she is like kind of introvert and also a child as well. Since right now she's just at 3 years old. So right now the day that we go make the donation, right? She is not showing up at all. So we have to get the caretakers to come out to bring the toys, like to play around with her. So she coming out for like less than 5 minutes and she going back in. So that's pretty much show like her introvert and cuteness of her.
And there are others. Like, does she have a boyfriend? Like, does
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
communicate with other
There's like
tigers? Sorry,
a
guys, I'm getting very
super.
lame at this question, but really curious about Eva the tiger.
It's okay. Yeah. She has her own sister or even brothers named Luna, but I think like Eva still killed her. So yeah, that's why we are trying to push Eva. But yeah, let's hope everyone went there and take photos of like her whole families.
That's really, really awesome. I'm definitely going to, probably my next trip to Thailand is going to be about meeting Eva, or not meeting Eva, but at least knowing more about Eva. So I'm sorry, guys, had to ask the lamest question possible because I just really like animals, and having a dog has changed my life completely. And most of the times I have no idea what he wants, but I'm just playing the guessing game. Sometimes I get it right and sometimes I get it horribly wrong. But with that, Bulb, sorry, GD, do you have any other points that you would like to highlight that, that we have probably missed out?
Okay. Yeah, David already say, I think the most important points. So collaborations, good content, consistency, and yeah, this is a very actually this is the real things. If I could add some one more point is the tokenomics. To us, tokenomics is very important, and decentralization is also important. So um, because if someone sells, it's important to they don't be so significant, so much impact on the project. So we need to have this trust with the other investors. So what we are trying to create with Blub is be the most decentralized possible, because no one can control this thing. So this is important to make this a more sustainable project. So I think this is the only thing nobody say it, but yeah, it's almost like what David say it. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. How about you, Crypto June? Do you think there are any other points that we have missed out on, making the whole meme projects more sustainable over the period of time? Some of the insights that we've probably missed discussing.
Very good question. A lot of things that I want to mention in the beginning, because I'm the last one, are already mentioned. So most thing is like I really agree with Pem Science with like the biggest community in this space are the Chinese communities, and it is insane. And that's also exactly why we chose Biao as one of the main memes that we want to introduce to the crypto space. I agree with all the other people saying good content is king. You need to post content to convince people to be part of your community. By just text, it is very hard to do. Also be unique, like I think this is already mentioned. Also, you need to have a unique selling point for your project. We see now launching every day 100 or more, even more projects. So don't be like the next animal, or just think about something unique that represents your brand and that people can recognize you from. Collaborations also already mentioned. I will not. You need to create win-win situations with other communities, and also, be active. I don't know. I don't have anything new to add. Like a lot of things are already mentioned, so it's very hard to be the last one. But I think the most
No,
important.
I think I saw some comments, and I just want to call them out. Okay,
Yeah,
Reds
sure.
mentions bow lever. I mean, it's just like you've just made like this whole new level with your community where they themselves are speaking volumes about the kind of engagement that you've created
Yeah,
with your hard work. So I think your engagement strategy with the community has kind of, you know, has hit the right chords,
yeah.
because they really believe in the machinery that you've already put in place. So how about you highlight a little bit about like what are your strict rules for engaging with the community? Like are there, particular, disciplines that you follow?
Yeah, good question. So, like about that, specifically about engagement and stuff, I think it's really important to keep them involved. You don't just announce when it is there, because then everybody knows it. Like create some kind of maybe a hardcore community that is really there for you, because you have two types of investors. You have people that are just investing and just hodl the back and just ride it, but you have also people that are willing to work for their own backs and the others. And I think you should focus on these people that are willing to work for the backs. So just reward them, maybe as an example. Keep them in the loop of updates. Don't tell everything, of course, but just tell them enough that they get involved and feel involved of the project and be part and be proud of the community that they are investing in. So I think that is the most important thing. Be active. Like maybe organize raids in your Telegram and see who is participating as an example. Build a personal connection with these people, and not just like the community, but just one-on-one also can help really by building a strong connection with your community and make it bigger.
That's just really important to share, because that's the mainstay of any
Yeah.
particular community, and I think that you guys are doing a phenomenal job. With that, I would like to open up the whole room to kind of all the questions that the audience might have. Please, if you have any questions, why don't you just share them in our comment section, and we'll probably ask our panelists whatever questions that you have in mind. Please go ahead and do that, and we'll be kind of grateful if we have missed out on a question and we haven't really answered that, to take that up right away.
So who?
No, we're just waiting for like some questions. We only see love and only love coming from the comment section. We don't see much questions, but I'm just gonna wait out on a particular 2-3 minutes. In the meantime, guys, is there anything that you guys want to highlight? Like what exactly are you intending to showcase through your projects? If there is any message that you want to give while we get the questions, please feel free to jump in and take the mic.
Yeah, I have. So I think all people here, it's entrepreneurs. So I think we need to keep pushing, because I think the only thing we can do for the world is create new things and better to the people. So very nice with all the projects, Pump Science, Goku, David, so Crypto Jones. I think uh, there are a lot of people to support that what you're creating, and you are not alone. So keep pushing, keep creating, keep trying to to you will achieve your dreams. Just believe it on that. And of course, this networking being created, I think you always can contact me. So let's try to create new things. I think is the most, because entrepreneur routine sometimes is very hard. There's a challenge on that. So yeah, just keeping pushing and everything will work fine.
I I was gonna say something. I was like, wait a second, my mic's muted. What I would say is, as you're building, right? I don't remember what your question was, Roy, but I'm gonna go on a tangent. I think as you're building, whether you're creating the crazy bridge, the quantum bridge from testing science on worms and memes, or if you're doing something with a real life tiger or a very popular meme or anything, right? I think it's super important for everyone to remember, right? Zoom out, think about the big picture. We're all still humans here. Treat people kindly in your community, take care of your community, give back to them, and do that in many ways. You can give back to your community in being an optimist, being positive, right? Sharing love. It can be sharing humor. There's many other ways that you can give back to them, but something that I always tell people is, like, if you make someone smile in a day, like, that's great. Like, that's a victory. So you can do that with memes. And the other thing that I would say is, outside of your community, don't forget to give back to the world, right? Use your community. Communities have a lot of strength. They have a lot of power. Simple economics, right? But if there's no demand in a market, there's no suppliers. So the demand really comes from the consumers in that community that you have. And ultimately, you can look at a community and you can create real value with strength in numbers. I tell people this sometimes, and I think it's kind of funny, but I mean, what was the first meme coin? I think it was Bitcoin. It was a bunch of people that were kind of surrounded by one another who thought and felt like this is a mimetic, almost a mimetic pull into decentralized finance, and they had this cult like appearance, or I guess cult like style, and this community grew and grew and grew, and now Bitcoin has one of the strongest global cultures and brands ever, and it's completely changed all of our lives with crypto. And it's something that, again, you can start small, but I would encourage everyone to dream really big and figure out how you can make an impact in your own kind of local community and then outside of it too.
No, I think that's fascinating to hear. And the question was nothing. Just go all out and share whatever is in your heart right now with the community, because we have around 18K people who's just actually watching us right now. I think Crypto June, you have a question which I have
Oh,
just popped up.
nice.
they want to ask you, has it met your expectation, the performance? And we would love to know your thoughts on this.
Yeah, sure. So I will answer this question more as an investor perspective, not as the host's perspective. But and has BIO performance met your expectations this far? And to be honest, yes. I was lucky that I was invested in it early. It had already a nice up run, so it gives me and my community a nice opportunity to be part of this one. So for me, it performed way above the expectations. And still, they're still doing it because I see that the team is really building something unique. They're very dedicated. They post, like I said, actively on the socials, creating memes, partnerships. And as an investor for myself, I look at these kind of things. So, did it meet my expectations? Yes.
All right. I think that's kind of explains why exactly we are excited about this community. And we have another question for JD. What are the qualities you need your community to push more? So basically, they're asking for feedback on our live session. That's pretty interesting to see.
What are the qualities you need to your community to push more?
Yeah.
Um,
I think the question is more like, what's like the vibe for Bulb, and what exactly are the kind of things that you guys value?
you
Apart,
need
obviously,
to
we've heard the passion bit, and go and get it, sort of a vibe. But what else are the kind of qualities that you guys really want the community to also work upon?
it's a tough question. Yeah, it's almost what I said before. If it's everything organic, so it's hard. We don't have all connections possible, so we need to create by yourself for or one. Oh, sorry, but yeah, it's a road we need to walk. And fortunately we have very good guys uh, believing in that meme. So I in the end, you need to believe in your meme, you need to believe in your idea. Fortunately we believe a lot because sweet is water, blub is, it's there is this universal sound. So it's very universal. So everyone wants to join. It's the first thing is, oh, it's cute, so makes sense. So this is makes everything more easier to us. But of course, the only thing I say to every guy who comes to our community, keep pushing, keep pushing. Sometime we we achieve bigger things, like, I don't know, listing in Binance, KuCoin, OKX, Bitget, why not? And yeah, but we need to do your work, and your work right now it's keep pushing, be active in the Telegram, be active on Twitter, and believing in your project. I think that's it.
Amazing. I think that answers the question. I think, Crypto June, we have another one for you. Are you looking for any specific talent, especially like in terms of video and images? And I think that's a question everybody can probably answer as well. Are you guys looking specifically for certain roles in your community? And you can probably ask the community to be like reaching out to you as well. So we can start
Yeah.
with you, Crypto June. Yeah.
So as you asked the question, like, are we looking for people to onboard as talents for making animations and stuff like that? Yes, we are always open for new talent into the project, especially community members, because they understand the best the concept, but also the crypto space. And also what he's saying, like, with all that advice about content, are you looking in animated content? Yeah, also about that, we are exploring this area too. So we are quite new. Like, we had a huge run in the last 2 weeks, but we first focused on not animated content, but we are exploring that area also for the future. So if somebody wants to be part or want to do this for us, shoot a DM to the team of Biao, and you're more than welcome.
Amazing. What about the rest of you? Like Benji, you've been quite awfully long. Can you please highlight if you're looking for somebody in your team? What is that kind of talent that's missing right now, or what do you want more of?
Yeah, I think we need a meme lord for sure. So I think the first role we're hiring for is like a creative. So, somebody that can produce video content, somebody that can write well, somebody that can make those memes that, provide the gas to, the Twitter content. So I think, that requires a lot of like energy and skill that we definitely need help on the team. Um, yeah, I'd say that's number one. But other things that we're looking for, like more scientific talent, developers, designers, basically everyone, honestly. But that good content meme lord is so hard to find.
Yeah, and you need people who at least gets a little bit of science as well, and also understands how to kind of make it more interesting. So it's kind of a unique set of people that you need on board as well.
Totally.
So yeah, yeah. What about the rest of you guys? Looking for any community leaders, any particular talent that's missing? It's a
Um,
great, like, we have 20K people now listening
yeah,
to
for sure.
us.
So for Ava, we are looking for animators and meme lord, as same as Benji's, right? Since right now, we are relying all of the contents on the tiger itself. We are trying to find the animators to do the cute short clips on TikToks or Reel to make it viral. So that's the missing piece that we are trying to find right now. So if anyone interested to join, please feel free to check us our TG communities and write for a bit, and we will get back to you ASAP on that. Thank you.
Get ready to get flooded. How about you, GD, David? Any particular talent pool that you're looking for?
Yeah, if you want to work, we will find something to you do. So that always there's something to do in Blub. So just if you have energy, talk with me, talk with Blub, because we will find some to you to do.
That's a great attitude to have, and people would love that kind of a messaging. If you have energy, just come. We can have you on board.
Bring your energy.
Yeah, I think that's really, really sweet. Like you actually value that. Like that's something that's really unique. Uh, you know, people like who actually don't have much to offer, but their energy, who are kind of passionate and just going with their heart. They don't really know how to place that kind of energy into something concrete, right? So if you're kind of giving meaning to that, that's amazing. Especially for
Yeah,
people like me. All
yeah.
right. So
Because sometimes your energy talks more than your skills. So just push your energy to us, and we'll grab that and use in a no efficient way.
amazing, amazing. David, didn't hear from you much. Any particular talent that you're looking for?
I actually last night was just talking to our Telegram. I'm like, we should get some more like moderators in here. We should get some more people that are just actively hyping up the community. And I think one of the things that we just recently launched was a Telegram for China and a Twitter or an X account for China. So would love to connect with some people that are not only in China but in Asia. And I think really just building that community, because I think someone said it earlier here, but China and Asia is very, they're very strong markets for meme coins, but they're
That
also
was
just very,
Benji.
yeah, there's very strong markets for crypto. And so I think the thing that we would want is someone who's able to kind of get in there and be a community manager and work with both sides, right? I want to find someone who hopefully understands the Chinese market, but also the traditional market, the market that we started with. But yeah, we're also we also have a lot of moderators, so there's quite a bit of interest. But I think if you're in the Telegram, our team will notice, and we definitely try and keep it vibrant.
Yeah, and I think if they're in your Telegram, they're already invested in you, and it makes sense for people to kind of pick things up what they're passionate about, right? So, and it's this you don't have to reinvent the wheel and kind of see that whole corporate philosophy or so like what you do, when you get into a job or something, right? So if you're in the community, it's easier because it's already in your vested interest to follow what's happening and be passionately executing on your role. So I think that makes sense. And that brings us to the end of this session. And I wish we could carry on. And I know some of you have actually woken up quite early in the morning, and we're really excited that you could actually join us. I think this is the most interesting panel that I have been a part of, where we're talking about memeing for change, and that to kind of creating a global impact. And this is the kind of sessions that we want to kind of encourage at MemeWave 2025. And thanks to Bitget Wallet to kind of organize something like this. And I think more and more people joining us to listen into what we are actually trying to establish in this landscape. I think the more trust and faith that we'll build, and more power to you guys. And hopefully, if any of you have questions in the community, or you've not got to ask the questions, you can find us on our social media handles and can join the Telegram groups and be a part of our whole movement. And really excited that you all joined us today. And thank you so much for this time and energy that you gave us. And hopefully we'll connect again. And this is us, and probably we will take your leave from the session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you